Good morning, America. This is Evan and Ashley on the EVASH, show, and today we have a very special guest.
President Harding is here today to give us the tea on his domestic policies. Let's give a warm welcome to Mr. Harding.
It's a privilege to be here with two liberal folks such as yourselves.
We have a couple questions we would like to ask you today.
All right, I'm a busy man. Let's get right to it.
Would you like to give us an overview of what you have done overseas and overall in your presidency?
Sure. I became president as a very conservative Republican in 1920 after my liberal predecessor, Wilson. My main goal was to lower taxes, create high protective tariffs, and limit immigration, both illegal and regular immigration. I have been very successful in this. With the Emergency Quota Act, we have drastically reduced the number of potential communists, which is a good thing, coming to America. I've also put into effect the Forde-McCumber tariff bill, which raised the tariffs to 40%. This might be a little bit over both of you's head, but the Revenue Act of 1921 I created to help lower taxes after World War II, which will become known as the Great One.
Wow, it looks like you've done everything that you have promised.
I have tried my best. I've also put together the Washington Naval Conference, which was an extreme success. The conference has helped to relieve tensions on East Asia and has helped disarm national navies to better protect our country and our allies.
So, would you like to pick up the teapot for us?
Well, I think I need to go now.
Well, folks, it seems that Harding is no longer with us.
Cut!
Honestly, it was probably for the best.
Evan, the camera was still rolling.
Oh, okay.
Dude, we didn't even get to ask him about the Teapot Dome scandal and his cabinet's scandalous activities.
Well, the dude just died, but I understand what you're saying. I really wanted to know what was up with that.
But we all know what he was up to. It's pretty obvious that Albert Fall was being bribed by oil companies to give him protected land to drill oil.
Well, not only did that happen, but what about the whole thing with the Red Scare? Look at Zacco and Vanzetti. They were found guilty of murder when they were probably innocent just because they were thought to be communists.
Well, we shouldn't give him a Harding a hard time.
Good morning, America, and welcome back to the EVASH show. And today we have a very special guest, President Coolidge.
He's the coolest president. So ladies and gentlemen, let's give a warm, or shall I say cool, welcome to Mr. Coolidge.
Hello, thank you so much for the cool introduction.
So as most of America understands it, you became president due to the tragic death of Warren Harding.
Yes, sir, it was a tragedy.
Well, let's start out with your rise to the presidency and your foreign policy, shall we?
Well, I followed in President Harding's footsteps with the National Ordinance Act of 1924 that further restricted immigration. Then, when up for re-election, I promised to maintain his office's honesty and to boost the economy. After re-election, I had my cabinet prepare the Dawes Plan, which helped Germany and our allies pay back their war debts. I also put into effect a very important Kellogg-Briand Pact that this pact made nations promise to not resolve conflict with war.
Wow, that is all very impressive.
Thank you. I tried my very hardest.
Now, what about your domestic policies?
I would love to touch on that. Well, I would like to start by saying I appointed the council to look into the Teapot Dome scandal and resolve that issue. During my second term, I pushed for private enterprise and a less involved federal government. I cut taxes and limited government spending while also setting high tariffs to protect U.S. industry. My domestic policies have created the roaring 20s as our economy is at an all-time high.
This is a lot of talk coming from someone so calm and quiet normally.
Well, I can be a little feisty sometimes.
Well, thank you, President Coolidge, for coming on and speaking to us about your achievements as president.
It was my pleasure.
Coolidge did seem like a very good president, but some of the things happening right now are just so scary.
I know. Everyone's buying everything on credit. Just 10 years ago, not as many people had cars. Now everyone has
I
cars.
know. We really need to be careful with this credit thing. It could lead to terrible things in the future.
We can't forget about all the good during this time. Look at the great jazz music coming out and all the fantastic literature coming from people like Fitzgerald with Great Gatsby.
It has been a pretty great past 5 years, hasn't it?
It has.
Good morning, America, with another rendition of Sitting Down with the President. I'm Evan, and that's Ashley, and you're watching the EVAS show.
We would like to welcome our very special guest, President Hoover.
It's great to be here, guys.
Well, Hoover, I don't mean to be rude, but your administration has really messed up. The stock market is in shambles, and you don't seem to be doing anything to help it. You claim to be this progressive president, but now you won't even help Americans get back on their feet.
I did not come on this show to be bashed.
The people don't want to hear about how great you are. They want to hear about what you're going to do to fix our country.
Well, as of now, I don't plan to do anything. My policy of trickle-down economics will succeed. All economies have cycles of ups and downs, and this is just a small down. It will pick back up in no time, I guarantee it.
If you say so.
That's all the time we have for today, folks. Thanks for tuning in.
Wait, but we just started.
Good. These presidents just seem to be getting worse and worse.
Well, the stock market may have crashed under him, but he wasn't the one to implement the credit which caused this crash.
True. Maybe we shouldn't be so rough on him. This decade has been pretty cool.
Yeah, look at all the great novels, such as The Sun Also Rises, that have come out. Or look at great musicians like Louis Armstrong. Americans have lived their best life in this decade. It was fun, I must admit, but now we're paying the price.
There were also the lows. Look at the race riots that came from the Great Migration, or the Red Scare that came from the Russian Revolution. That was a really scary
It
time.
was, but we made it through that, so we'll make it through this.